So we just did an example of how to take the left and right hand limits of a graphical function, but how about a tabular function? So here we're going to use a tabular example. So here, let's say that we're asked to take the limit as x approaches 3 from the left hand side of the function 1 over x minus 3. So let's go ahead and build our table again. So we have x and we have f of x. And here's our table. And we're going to start relatively far away from 3. And we're going to slowly approach it from the left-hand side. So we'll start perhaps with 2.9. And then we'll get a little bit closer, maybe 2.99. And then we'll get a little bit closer, maybe 2.999. And then we'll get really, really close, 2.9999. And what we'll do, just like before, we'll plug in each of these values of x into our original equation and see what the corresponding value for f of x is. And so if we plug in 2.9 into our equation, we get that this is equal to negative 10. If we plug in 2.99 into our equation, we get that f of x is going to be equal to negative 100. And if we keep doing this for each of these values and plug these in, we'll get a table that looks like this. This is negative 1,000, and this is negative 10,000. And so we might say that as x approaches 3 from the left, as x approaches 3 from the left, we might say that f of x approaches negative infinity. So writing that out, that would look like the limit as x approaches 3 from the left of 1 over x minus 3. This is equal to negative infinity. Let's do it for the other side. So here's our 3, and here is our table. We have x and we have f of x. And we'll start pretty far away from 3. We'll start maybe with 3.1. And then we'll get a little bit closer, 3.01. And then a little bit closer, 3.001. And then really close to 3, 3.0001. And just like before, we'll plug in 3.1 into our original function. And we'll get that this is equal to 10. And if we plug in 3.01 into our original function, we'll get that this is equal to 100. And if we do that for 3.001 and 3.0001, we'll get that these values are 1,000 and 10,000. And so what we would say here then is as x approaches 3 from the right, f of x approaches infinity. And so writing that out, we would say that the limit as x approaches 3 from the right of 1 over x minus 3 is equal to infinity. So what do these two things tell us about the limit as x approaches 3 of our function x minus 3? Well, we would just say that this limit does not exist because the limit from the left-hand side is not the same as the limit from the right-hand side. And as always, if you wanted to calculate, well, what is f of 3? That would be equal to 1 over 3 minus 3, which is equal to 1 over 0. And so we can see here that f of 3 also is undefined.